Hi, I'm Anna Gordy. I currently serve Pláticas de Santa Sofia as pastor and mission developer here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm a professional artist, spiritual director, and ELCA Level 2 coach. I'm also autistic. I was formally diagnosed at age 45, although I suspected for about 15 years before that as we were going through the process to have one of my children diagnosed. My diagnosis was a relief in so many ways because it helped me put so much of the trauma and abuse that I endured in my lifetime into context, kind of framed it with some understanding about how it happened or how to prevent that from happening again. It's helped me to know what to ask for, and it's given me permission to rest when necessary, which has just been huge for me. Our social imagination about autism is that it only affects nonverbal white boys who are obsessed with trains. And yes, those people do exist. But in reality, the autistic community is so much broader than that. And you know what? We are just beautiful. We are found in all races and ethnicities and cultures. We're diverse in gender, in sexuality, and relationship status. And we are, each of us, literally experts in something or another because of our special interests and our innate drive to learn as much as we can about the things that we love. We tend to be sensitive to our environments, and what that looks like varies from person to person. We're also incredibly empathetic, to the point that we actually feel empathy for inanimate objects. I like to tell a story about a snow globe that I had in high school that I just loved. And when I came back on a break from college, it had grown some algae inside. And I felt so bad for this little snow globe that could not be fixed that I actually cried about it. Autistic folks tend to work very hard to make sure that we understand other people and that other people understand us. It says in the DSM-5 that we have deficits in communication. But what I'm learning is that really it's just differences in communication. And so if I can understand how allistics think, then maybe I can be more understood and can also ask clarifying questions to understand. We are brilliant artists. We are scientists, we are mathematicians, we are sanitation workers, we are clergy, we are therapists, and we are humans. But more than 60% of autistic people are bullied at school and or in the workplace. Autistic folks with IQs over 120 are 6 times more likely to contemplate suicide than allistic, non-autistic people. What autistic people want more than anything in the whole world is kindness. We want it for ourselves and we want it for others. We want it for you too. There's a difference between empathy and minimizing, however. For example, it can be extremely comforting and lovely if I tell you I'm autistic and that the fluorescent lights are making me dizzy, and you say, I hate feeling dizzy. Should we leave this parish hall, or can I turn on a lamp instead? It's not helpful or kind to say, yeah, I hate this lamp at home that my wife's uncle gave us. It's a terrible shade of green, and well, I guess we're all a little autistic, aren't we? Because no, no, we are not. It's true that everyone has some autistic traits, and that's just because autistic traits are human traits. But autism spectrum disorder is a neurological and developmental disorder, and the spectrum applies to those of us who have a particular constellation of autistic traits that leaves us disabled in a world that wasn't made for us and is increasingly becoming too noisy, too busy, too bright. It's becoming cliche, but this phrase is still helpful even to me. If you've met one autistic person, you've met an autistic person. In my little reforming family of 8, 3 of us are diagnosed as autistic, and 3 of us are very likely to be autistic too. And on top of that, 7 of us have ADHD. We're a very exciting household. It's helpful to remember that if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. Because what's soothing to me after a very long day might be the thing that sends someone else into a meltdown. So in our home, we practice consent about just about everything. Jill asked me specifically what I'd like congregations and coaches to know about autism. Theology of the cross is crucial. Sitting with us in our pain and frustration when those moments happen and just being with us is how we see Jesus best. But the most important thing to me is this: we are not puzzles to be solved, and we're not problems to be fixed. We are each beautifully, perfectly made by Creator, and each of us has a spark of the divine living right inside. We're sensitive, we're justice-oriented, we pay attention to pattern and detail, and if you treat us like that, like beloved, gifted children of God, you'll find that we are very loyal, even devoted members of community. But my favorite question is, what are you learning about these days? Let us tell you about our special interests and then listen. It's another concrete way we know that you care. If anyone would like to talk more about autism and ADHD, or how to seek a diagnosis, or how to problem solve with a particular client or parishioner, or if you just want a list of resources, I invite and encourage you to contact me. Autism is, after all, one of my special interests. Thanks, y'all.